Welcome to EF Pod English. Brought to you by EF Education First and English Town. Learn anytime, anywhere. Pod English Intermediate 49. Describing your world.
Welcome, sir. Today's special is sear goose liver laid in a black truffle sauce with imported baby Brussels sprouts from Europe, or Sichuan-style frog legs.
What's the difference?
Well, goose liver tastes like goose. You know, goose is the big.
As we go through life, we describe things all the time. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to ask questions using like. What's China like? What's the food like? We're also going to talk about how to answer these questions. We're going to make comparisons by adding ER onto an adjective, like cheaper. The food is cheaper in China than in Canada. And we'll learn how to use different from, like in this sentence. The food is really different from here. But first, let's watch a movie about Jim, who's just returned from China.
Yeah. It tastes like chicken. Yes. Well.
Hey Michelle, what would you like to drink?
A beer would be great. So, when did you get back?
I got back last night.
And what was China like?
It was great. The people are so nice.
And the food, what was the food like?
The food was delicious. And a lot cheaper than here in Canada.
Really?
Frog's legs cost $1.
Frog's legs. What do frog's legs taste like?
A little like chicken and a little like fish. The food is really different from here in Canada. In fact, everything's really different from here in Canada.
Like what?
Like, the cities are much bigger, there's more people, the weather's much warmer.
I wish I could see it.
Anyway, how have you been?
Okay. I met a really cool guy last week.
Yeah? What's he like?
Well, he's well-dressed and he's a little bit reserved. And he's really cheerful. He's just like me, really.
So when do I get to meet this guy?
Tonight. He's coming to the bar at 8.
Great. I hope he's better than your last boyfriend.
Yes, chicken. Well, maybe while you're thinking, we could go through the wines list. We have 2 very good wines from Italy, sir. We have a Chianti from Montalcino and a Rosso from Cuneo. And
Rose?
yeah, I see. Well, Chianti is actually has a bolder taste. It's stronger, it's
Stronger. Oh,
yeah, stronger. Well, Rosso is actually very good indeed, but it's a milder wine, sir. But I don't know if wine is something that you find
What is?
appropriate. Yeah, it tastes like grape juice.
Oh no, I don't like grape juice. I
I see.
As you watched the movie, did you notice how Michelle uses like to ask questions?
And what was China like?
What was China like? By using like, Michelle is asking for descriptions. Let's look at some more examples. What do frog legs taste like? What was the food in China like? Can you remember?
The food was delicious. And a lot cheaper than here in Canada.
The food was delicious and much cheaper than here in Canada. Did you notice how Jim is using the word cheaper? He is making a comparison between food prices in China and Canada. You can add ER to some adjectives to compare 2 things, so cheap becomes cheaper. Jim made some more comparisons. The cities are much bigger. The weather's much warmer. Now listen to another way Jim makes comparisons.
The food is really different from here in Canada. In fact, everything's really different from here in Canada.
The food is really different from here in Canada. We use different from to make another form of comparison. Life in the city is very different from the countryside. The weather at the beach is different from here.
Well, yeah. What about maybe a beer? Maybe beer is closer to what you would think.
You know, I'm just,
yes.
I'm hungry. I'm looking for something that's, you know, I like
Easy,
simple-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. Why?
You know, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's why I came here.
I know.
Can you fill in the gap to make this into a question? That's right. What's China like? How about this one? Okay, that one was easy. What do frog legs taste like? Can you remember another way we made comparisons? See if you can fill in the gap here. The food is really different from here in Canada. Now try choosing the right answer. The weather in China is much warmer than here in Canada.
I don't know.
So
what to order
maybe
here.
a beer. Maybe a beer is more appropriate.
I'm just hungry. I'm just looking for something that's like, you know,
Easy.
Yeah, something basic. You know, I'm yeah.
Yeah. What about turkey cheese sandwich? Maybe that's more appropriate. It's more appropriate for your tastes. Sir.
Sure. That sounds like what I'm looking for.
Perfect, sir. Yeah.
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 I think so.
Good.
Sure.
Very good. Very good. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thanks.
Well done. I hope you had a good time talking about how to describe your world. You've learnt how to ask questions using like, such as, what's China like? And you've learnt how to answer these questions using comparisons. We've learned how to do this by adding ER onto an adjective. China is cheaper than Canada. And we've learned another phrase, different from. The food in China is really different from Canada. Well, do remember to use these words and phrases as you watch the world around you. Have fun!
Here you are, sir. This is your turkey and cheese sandwich in whole wheat bread, and yes, I think it's enjoy your meal, sir.